Hello everyone, Prosperity here. The Legion pre-patch has brought about a lot of changes, so I've decided to make a few guides for each class to help you sort through them all. In this guide series, I'll be breaking down the specializations for each class to help you better understand them. And with that said, welcome to the beginner guide to the Holy Paladin in Legion. This first video for the Holy Paladin will focus on your combat abilities, broken up into two parts, healing and utility. The core healing abilities are Beacon of Light, Flash of Light, Holy Light, Holy Shock, Light of Dawn, and Light of the Martyr. Utilities are Cleanse, Consecration, Crusader Strike, Divine Steed, Hammer of Justice, and Judgment. Let's get started with the healing abilities, shown on screen now. These abilities are the bread and butter of Holy. Learning how to use these spells effectively, mostly in terms of when to use them, is where you will need to start on your road to mastering the spec. First on our list is Beacon of Light, which has a 3-second cooldown and lasts until the target dies or you place Beacon on another target. Beacon causes any heal cast on another target to also heal your Beacon target for 40% of the amount healed. Casting Flash of Light or Holy Light on your Beacon target will also refund 30% of the spell's mana cost, making direct healing on your Beacon target much more mana efficient. Your Beacon of Light target will almost always be a tank that has aggro, but can be changed freely to suit your needs in a fight. Flash of Light is one of your two main healing spells and is considered to be the more inefficient heal in your spellbook. It has a 1.5 second cast time baseline, but costs the most mana of all your healing spells. This spell should not be cast unless you know you will absolutely need to get a target healed up very quickly. Holy Light is your other main healing spell and comes with a 2.5 second cast time and a relatively low mana cost. You only have two other healing spells that are more efficient, Light of the Martyr and Holy Shock. This spell should be used as much as possible, but since it has such a long cast time, learning how to anticipate incoming damage on your team members is pivotal to making the most out of this spell. Holy Shock is your main damaging ability, but can also be used to heal yourself or a friendly target. It costs less mana than your Holy Light spell and has a 40-yard range and 9-second cooldown. Holy Shock also has double the chance to critically strike, so using it as often as possible is a great idea. That being said, this should mainly be used as a healing ability, but if there isn't any damage going out to your team, it's a good idea to use this on an enemy target, as it also has the lowest single target healing of all your spells. Light of Dawn is an instant ability with a 12-second cooldown that heals up to 5 injured allies within a 15-yard cone in front of you. This is your only AoE healing spell baseline, but you will have access to more through talents, which I'll go over in a later video. Light of the Martyr is an instant cast spell and is possibly the most efficient heal in your spellbook. It has the lowest mana cost and heals a friendly target for the largest amount of health by far of any of your healing spells. The caveat is that you will be damaged for 50% of the healing done by the spell. Light of the Martyr cannot be cast on yourself and does not contribute to your Beacon of Light healing. The spell has no cooldown, but should be saved for times when even a Flash of Light will not be fast enough to save a party member from death. It is also advised to not cast this during times of sustained raid-wide damage, if at all possible. Now that we're through with the healing spells, let's move on to the utilities, shown on screen here. Utility spells include your damaging abilities, which will not be the main focus of your gameplay by any means. However, the changes to Holy for Legion have made them more effective melee healers. What this means for you is that learning when to damage your enemies will push you even further to greatness. Cleanse is an instant spell with an 8-second cooldown that completely removes all poison, disease, and magic effects from your target. This is extremely useful for most fights, however, there are some dispellable effects on certain bosses that require some communication to not do more harm than good by dispelling them. For the most part though, it's widely encouraged to cleanse as much as possible. Consecration lays down an area around you, dealing holy damage to all enemies standing in it for 9 seconds on a 9-second cooldown. This spell should be on cooldown as much as possible, as it is a good source of constant damage. Crusader Strike is an instant ability with 2 charges on a 4.5 second recharge that strikes your target with your weapon, dealing physical damage. When there isn't a lot of damage going out to your group, this ability is a great filler spell to use, as it also costs no mana. Divine Steed is an instant ability that summons your charger, increasing your movement speed by 100% for 3 seconds. It has a 45-second cooldown, but even still is absolutely necessary for your mobility. Hammer of Justice is your stun ability, which comes with a 10-yard range and a 1-minute cooldown, stunning the target for 6 seconds. Using this spell effectively can help to prevent a lot of burst damage going out to your party or raid, meaning you can spend less mana to keep everyone alive. Judgment is an instant ability with a 30-yard range and 12-second cooldown, dealing holy damage to your target and causing the target to take 30% increased damage from your Crusader Strike and Holy Shock abilities for 6 seconds. When you have the time to deal damage, you should use this ability first, especially when you'll be able to utilize the damage window it creates. Let's recap. Anticipate incoming damage with Holy Light. Use Flash of Light when necessary. Use Light of Dawn as much as possible in AoE damage situations, and save your Light of the Martyr for dire situations. In your downtime, contribute to your raid's damage by using Judgment, immediately followed up with Crusader Strike and Holy Shock, if it's not on cooldown from using it to heal someone, and keep your Consecration down as much as possible. Use your Hammer of Justice and Cleanse abilities to prevent unnecessary damage to your raid, and keep your Beacon of Light on a tank as much as possible. Follow these rules and you'll be well on your way to mastering the Holy Paladin. That's all I have for the Beginner's Guide to the Holy Paladin. With this guide, I hope I've been able to help you better understand the basics of your toolkit. If you haven't yet, subscribe to keep an eye out for the Intermediate Guide covering passives and cooldowns. Of course, if you have any questions regarding Holy or want to see another class covered, let me know in the comments below or on Twitter @TheLoranzis. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun.